Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video, and today I wanted to talk about pretty much one of my favorite modern comics, and that's Batman Beyond comics. And when I'm talking about modern comics, I'm sort of thinking like after 1995, and considering before 1995 there's first Harley Quinn, first Deadpool, first Carnage, first Venom, and go down the line. So a lot of iconic first appearances before 1995, but after 1995, there's definitely sort of a lot of, I would say, like new age first appearances, mostly those being kind of like female versions of certain heroes, and those are definitely cool first appearances. But after 1995, I don't really think there's very many like iconic first appearances. But I totally think Batman Beyond is an iconic first appearance. So Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond, first appearance in comics, and that's why if you've watched this channel throughout the last few months, I have done a couple videos of where if there was one kind of modern issue that I could recommend someone buy for an investment, I would pretty much pick Batman Beyond #1 in the first print. So before we kind of get into all my Batman Beyond comic books, I'd invite you to join the team and subscribe here to Team CGC, and hit that bell to get all the latest notifications as well. But super appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel, so thank you very much. Okay, let's get right into the Batman Beyond comics. Now, certainly if you liked Batman Beyond and you wanted to purchase maybe one book as an investment book, definitely the book to get is Batman Beyond #1, and in the first print you want to grab Batman Beyond #1. So you'll notice here this has the UPC code. That's kind of the sign of it being the first print. There's the origin issue, which looks pretty much exactly like this, but it has like a white bar here where the UPC code would be, but same type of cover. I personally wouldn't really go for that one. I don't have that issue. Batman Beyond #1 in the first print, you're getting first Terry McGinnis in comic books, so first Batman Beyond in comic books essentially. I think, that's the issue you want to buy, because, the first print compared to the origin issue is actually, there's not too much of a difference in price. This is a little bit more expensive, but I don't think that origin issue is worth buying. So Batman Beyond #1 in the CGC 9.8 specifically, obviously I bought two. I got two here, so it's a book that I think could get really hot. I think it's a really good buy right now for kind of several reasons. But let's just look on the CGC census really quick at Batman Beyond #1. So there are only 137 of these out there, and that's one of my main reasons for really liking this issue, is for an iconic first appearance, like a first appearance that doesn't get more iconic than Batman Beyond, how popular Batman Beyond's become, and kind of the cult following that it has. To have 137 of a first appearance is not a lot at all. Not a lot at all. So that's a super positive, I think, as far as thinking about this book from an investment perspective. At the CGC ratio, 37.2% of all graded copies are CGC 9.8s. And, once you're getting into late 90s books, collecting by then has become a really popular thing, and it's a mainstream kind of thing. So you're not going to get a too low ratio. Sometimes in the, late 90s, like this book is, some of them get over 50%. So the lower the ratio, the better, obviously, meaning more rare. So yeah, Batman Beyond #1, 37.2% of all graded copies are 9.8s. So not the best ratio, but not terrible. But really focusing in on that 137 number, because for such an iconic first appearance to only have 137 issues in the 9.8 is not a lot at all. And just for a comparison, I was kind of thinking some modern issue first appearance issues that are like really hot and kind of iconic for a first appearance. And I thought of Teen Titans #12, which is the first Batman Who Laughs, an issue that I really love. You get an iconic first appearance of a cool Batman villain. I would say, you know, on a scale, they're about similar popularity of first appearances, possibly. Maybe Batman Who Laughs is pretty hot right now because it's newer. But anywho, so Teen Titans number 12, first appearance of Batman Who Laughs. On the CGC census, this book is only 2 years old, not even 2 years old, and there's already 423 of them in the CGC 9.8 compared to 137 of these. And obviously this book being almost 20 years old at this point. So that gives you an idea of, you know, I think that for a first appearance to only have 137 of these out there, basically the supply does not meet the demand is, you know, how I would explain it. I think, you know, there probably should be about 400 or 500 or 600 of these, and then the supply would meet the demand a little bit more. And I mean, it's totally reflected in the price of these issues. That, you know, if there was 400 or 500 of them, I don't think the price would be as high as it is right now. But, you know, obviously going over some of those reasons why I think Batman Beyond number 1 is great. A couple other reasons, like right now, there's not really any hype going on for Batman Beyond, so those are always the environments I recommend purchasing books in, where there is no hype, because then you know you're going to get about a fair price. You know, whenever there's a trailer coming out, a new movie coming out, a pop culture event, a new show, whatever it might be, all those events have a tendency to inflate comic book prices for whatever, you know, superhero might be on, you know, the new show or the new movie. So, you know, those are, in general, I don't recommend to buy books in those environments. Like, you know, if the Venom trailer just came out or whatever it is, don't go rushing out and buying Venom books. So Batman Beyond right now, you know, they did have that remastered DVD or, you know, Blu-ray box set, and I know it came out on DC Universe a couple weeks ago. But I don't think that's going to, like, inflate the comic book prices. It's just not too much of a pop culture event. It's just kind of a comic community event, so those don't really move the prices very much. Yeah, so right now, I think there's not a lot of hype for Batman Beyond. I think you're going to get a fair price for the issue. But another good thing about this issue I should mention, you know, being a 1999 book, this basically came out in the sort of comic book recession of the late 90s, early thousands. That was at the time where, you know, the comic book market really slowed down and the movies didn't start coming out yet. So, you know, Iron Man didn't come out yet, and, you know, that didn't come out till about 2005, I believe it was, 2004. So, pretty tough time for the comic book industry from about 98, I would say, to, you know, 2003 about. So this book coming out during that time, I just think, you know, in general, it was a bit low printed and under collected, I would say. You know, being that it was in the recession, just in general, there weren't as many people collecting as in the early 90s. So I think that has a lot to do with why there's only 137 of these on the CGC census. You know, came out during the recession, not a little bit under collected. I think too, you know, being like a WB show adaptation, you know, at first that didn't really work in its favor because, you know, people just thought, oh, I'm not going to buy this because it's just adapting a show. But little did they know, like, how big Batman Beyond would become, and how much of a cult following it does have. But again, yeah, you know, getting 137 of these, and again, you know, comparing it to Teen Titans 12, which is a book only 2 years old, and there's 423 of those. And I think, you know, this first appearance is probably a lot cooler than the Teen Titans Batman Who Laughs first appearance. Even though that's super cool, that's probably my favorite, like, modern villain first appearance. So, you know, obviously these are pretty rare. Talked about them not being, there's not too many in the 9.8. So let's talk about price, because that is reflected in the price. So, price of Batman Beyond number 1 in the first print in a CGC 9.8 like these ones can get, it's a little bit of a tough market, I would say. And, you know, the reason why it's tough is because there's only 137 of them, there are always, you know, maybe 2 or 3 on eBay that are priced at $500 to $600. So $500 or $600 for, you know, one Batman Beyond number 1. And it's kind of getting to that point already because, again, I think the supply does not meet the demand. Like the first appearance of Batman Beyond is really popular, and most first appearances that are that popular have about 600-700 issues at least. So yeah, for this issue to be that popular but only have 137, I think that's why you see a huge range in the price. So yeah, again, you're gonna see these buy it nows for about 500 or 600. I think that's a little bit on the expensive side. If you're really patient and you know keep an eye on eBay, keep up those searches for Batman Beyond #1 and CGC 9.8. You can find, if you get a like a 1 week fire sale type auction, you can get one for about $350 to $400. It's going to be tough. Got to be patient. Yeah, to be honest, one of these issues I bought on an auction, and I got a decent deal. Another issue I pretty much paid up for. It was about $450. And it kind of popped up, and it was sort of in between sort of the auction prices and the buy it now prices. Like there were a lot of buy it now prices where it was about $550 to $600 for this book, believe it or not. And I didn't want to pay that much, but then this one popped up and it was in Canada and it was $450. So I thought I'd take a stab at it. But I think if you can be really patient, because you do got to be really patient. I've been searching on eBay, before I bought these two, for months and months and months for a Batman Beyond #1 first print in the CGC 9.8. They do not pop up very often. So, but if you are patient, you could probably get one for about $350. Because you could get lucky and just get a sort of unknown auction on eBay that is kind of under the radar, and because these are so rare, you might not have a lot of people following the auction. So you might be able to maybe get it under $350 if you're really lucky. But yeah, I think for Batman Beyond #1 in the first print, and you do want to get the first print. Again, don't mess around with the origin issue or anything like that. Get the first print. Yeah, if you get a really good deal on auction, you're looking at about $350 to $400. If you got to pay up, if you really want it now, about $450 to $550, even over $550 in some cases. Some people are trying to get rid of their Batman Beyond #1s. So, yeah, you know what? I think, Batman Beyond #1, it's one of those, if you love Batman Beyond like I do, you just want the comic because you want the first appearance of Batman Beyond. But then when you do a little more digging into the CGC census, and you realize that if you do want to buy one in the CGC 9.8, it's quite hard to find, because I kind of found that out. There's a lot of other reasons besides it being the first appearance of Batman Beyond why it's a really good buy, and that's why I think, for me, pretty much after 1995, it's like my #1 investment grade comic book. After 1995, I would say. Yeah, first Batman Beyond, rare on the census, only 130, one of 137, so 2 of 137 you got here. I think that's a really good, limited number. You always want those limited, and I talk about this on the channel quite a bit. You always want those limited numbers when you're thinking about comics from investing, and that's why, from an investment perspective, and that's why on this channel I stick to CGC 9.8 comics only. And every pretty much graded comic I buy is a CGC 9.8. Okay, yeah, we covered mostly everything, though. I want to show you, so I got the 2 CGC 9.8s in the first print. I also have a first print Batman Beyond in a raw copy. And I also have the Batman Beyond series. So this is the original series, not kind of the second version or anything. The original adaptation, 1 to 6. I'm not sure if these are coming through on the. Might be a little shiny, but yeah, super cool series, and yeah, I picked these up. That's a really cool cover. I like that one, the third one. But I picked these up, the whole Batman Beyond series together, and yeah, there's like one little micro tick on the spine, but this is possibly a 9.8, but I think it's probably a 9.6 because there's really just one little tick. Otherwise, it's looking almost exactly like my 9.8s. So yeah, I bought the yeah, that was it. I bought the Batman Beyond original series 1 to 6, and this one here, which is Return of Joker, Batman Beyond. That's the one I want to show you. A little one-off of Return of Joker. And they ended up making this an animation movie, which is a really cool animation movie, actually. I'd recommend to watch that if you haven't seen Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. But I bought this and these 6 all in one auction in Canada, and it was like, I think it was like maybe less than $200, which I thought was a pretty good deal. And every now and then you see like the whole Batman Beyond set, people trying to sell it for like $250 American or something like that. So I think I got a pretty good deal on that. Okay, so yeah, you know, like for me, I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan, so I just wanted to get, you know, Batman Beyond the whole series 1 to 6, plus obviously, you know, the CGC 9.8s of issue number 1, first appearance of Batman Beyond. Yeah, if you know you are kind of thinking about it just from an investment perspective, or maybe you just collect keys, you know, certainly Batman Beyond number 1 in the first print, you know, buy 1 or 2 of those, and I think you're good for Batman Beyond. I really like Batman Beyond, so I wanted to get Return of the Joker and the 1 to 6 as well. But yeah, honestly, again, after 1995, for an investment grade book, if there's one that I could pick, one that sticks out in my mind, it would be Batman Beyond number 1 in the first print. Again, after 1995, out of any book I could pick. And, you know, obviously this whole, you know, video can be, you know, prefaced with the fact that I hope they make a Batman Beyond movie, because I think that would be amazing. If you watch this channel before, some of my other Batman Beyond videos, I've like totally said that I think a Batman Beyond movie would be like one of the best Batman movies ever. There's so much stuff they could do with it, you know, so many, like the gadgets would just be off the hook, and you know, I could just imagine like the suit and the, you know, the eyes, and just, yeah, how cool Batman Beyond would look in, like, you know, kind of a high budget type movie, Batman movie. So that's always like a catalyst possibly down the road, is and again, you know, the movie's not out right now, there's no trailer out right now, so I'd imagine if, you know, if there was a Batman Beyond trailer out right now, these books would probably be over $1,000. The CGC 9.8, so the number 1s, I have a feeling. But there is none right now, and those are always the kind of situations I recommend to buy in. You know, there's no hype, no movies, not too much going on with Batman Beyond right now. Then you can search and hunt for some issues and get a fair price, and that's pretty much what collecting is all about. You know, you want to just buy the books you want, buy the books that you love at a fair price, at the right price. Because if you overpay, that can kind of put you in a weird spot as far as, you know, if the issues go up, you won't really make too much money on the way up. Okay, that's going to be about it for today, though. Thank you very much for watching today. And if you haven't already, please join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Click that bell, get all the notifications. We're doing about 4 or 5 videos a week now, so get all those notifications if you click that bell. And really, thank you very much if you do subscribe. But thanks for watching as well. And so happy I could share my Batman Beyond comics with you. Oh, like my favorite comics from the modern age, definitely. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.